Hi guys, Miss Hughes here, and I'm coming on because I'm going to finish reading the Junie B. Jones book that we've started a little while ago, which is Junie B. Jones' Dumb Bunny. And we left off where the Easter egg hunt was just getting ready to start. So, Chapter 8, Swooping. The children ran. They ran everywhere, I tell you. They ran to and fro, and up and down, and back and forth, and here and there. Also, Roger ran sideways, and Lenny ran in a circle. I watched them very fascinated. Some of the children were tackling and scuffling. Sheldon went through a shrub. A shrub is just like a big bush. That's when Lucille's daddy blew his whistle again. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Everyone come back here right now, he shouted real mad. Everyone came back. Sheldon had a stick in his ear. He sputtered and stuttered and pointed at May. She pushed me. May pushed me through a bush. May stomped her foot. No, I did not, Sheldon. I did not push you. You pushed yourself, she said. She turned and looked at the daddy. It was the darndest thing you ever saw, she said. He shoved himself right through that shrub. The daddy stood there a real long time. Then he walked to a picnic bench, and he sat down real slow. And he hit himself in the head. I went over and tapped on him. I would just like to point out that the bunny did not run, I said. The bunny was the only one who walked. May overheard me. That's because the bunny can't run, or the bunny falls down, she called. That bunny should not get credit for that. The daddy hit himself in the head again. I walked back to Herbert. He looked kind of worried. The daddy is coming unglued, he said. I nodded. Yes, I said, the daddy is going to need backup, I believe. Backup is the grown-up word, for the police might need to come, possibly. And guess what? Me and Herb were not the only ones thinking that either, 'cause just then Lucille's Nana hollered out real loud. Enough, she hollered. I have had enough of this nonsense with you children. Then she cupped her hands around her mouth, and she shouted out a brand new rule. It was called, if there's any more running or fighting, she's going to call the cops. All of the children did a loud gulp. I looked at Herbert. That new rule seems a little harsh, I said. Only guess what else? The new rule worked, I think, 'cause pretty soon the Nana started the egg hunt again, and this time no one ran at all. No one even walked, hardly. Instead, we all behaved like little ladies and gentlemen, and we hunted for eggs very polite. May stuck to Sheldon like glue. I tried to stick to him, too, but my giant feet could not keep up on that good. May kept on crouching. You're not going to get the golden egg before I do, Sheldon. Even if you know where it is, I'll still beat you to it, she said. I'm all over you like flies on egg salad. Sheldon rolled his eyes. But I don't know where the golden egg is, May, he said. I've already told you that. I don't know anything at all. I cut my mitts around my mouth. I believe you, Sheldon. I believe you don't know anything at all, I shouted. I've never thought you've known anything at all. After that, I hurried to catch up to him, 'cause I definitely thought he knew something, of course. Sheldon turned to wait for me. Then, all of a sudden, he glanced down at the ground and he did a loud gasp. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. May and I turned to look. There was a bright green egg under the bushes. Sheldon clapped and laughed, and then he hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoop, scoop. May ducked underneath him speedy fast, and she picked it up instead. I got it, I got it, I got it, she screeched. Then she put the egg in her basket and danced all around. Sheldon's face got sputtery mad, but before he could even yell at her, he did another gasp. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted even louder than before. Then he clapped his hands and he laughed real happy, and he hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoop, scoop, May beat him to it again. See, here's May. She's beat him to the egg again. Do you think he's going to be very happy that May keeps stealing all of his eggs? 2, 2. Now I have 2, she hollered. She jumped in the air and kicked her feet. I swooped. I'm a swooper. I swooped, she said. She ran back to Sheldon and leaned in his face. I knew I would beat you at this game, she said. Now I have 2 eggs, and you and Junie B have... She leaned her head into our baskets. Let's count them. 0. Ha, you have 0, and I have 2. 2 to 0. 2 to zippity-zip 0. Sheldon looked at me real upset. I frowned my eyes at him. Helpful hint, I said. Stop shouting. I see one. Sheldon pointed at his magic egg shirt. But I just don't get it, Junie B, he said. My grandpa said the egg is with me, so why isn't this magic shirt working? I looked closer at the egg dribble. Maybe it's not lucky, I said. Maybe it's just dirty. Sheldon slumped his shoulders. Then he reached down his finger and he flicked off the egg. Only wait till you hear this. Just as he flicked it, his eyes got big and wide again. This time I hurried to cover his mouth with my hand, but Sheldon shouted right through my palm. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. Then, before he could even move his feet, whoosh, swoop, scoop, May grabbed egg number 3. She twirled in a happy circle around us. 3-0, 3-0, it's 3-0, she yelled. Sheldon stood real still. Then very slow, he put down his basket and he stretched out the sides of his mouth with his fingers and he stuck his tongue out at May. That was appropriate behavior, I believe. After that, he snatched his basket up again and he tried to rush away from May, but too bad for Sheldon because May stayed right exactly on his heels. They were walking too fast for me to keep up. I stopped and watched them. Then I did a big sigh, and I walked to a tree stump, and I sat down very glum. I hate being this dumb bunny, I said, 'cause my feet are too big, and my legs are too slow, and my paw mitts are way too clumsy. I slumped my shoulders and looked in the empty basket. I did another sigh, 'cause let's face it, the bunny was a rotten egg. Chapter 9, Lucky Bunny. Sheldon found 3 more eggs. May swooped all of them. Every time she swooped, she shouted her head off. 4, 4, now I have 4. 5, 5, now I have 5. 6, 6, I just got 6. 6 was Sheldon's limit, apparently. He stomped to my tree stump and threw his empty basket in that grass. That's it, I'm done. I'm not looking for one more egg for that girl. Let her find her own stupid eggs. I quit, he said. May came chasing after him. No, Sheldon, no, you can't quit. You can't. Come on, we're a team, she said. We're Team May. Sheldon did a huffy breath at her. No, we're not. We're not Team May, he grouched. I am an egg finder, and you're some creepy swooping bird girl who steals them. May's mouth opened real shocked. I did not steal your eggs, Sheldon Potts. Those eggs were still in the grass when I picked them up. Just because you saw them first didn't make them yours, she said. Picking them up is what makes eggs yours. Sheldon started to yell back. Then he stopped and looked at me. Shoot, he said. I think she has a valid point there. May smiled real smuggy. Thank you, Sheldon, she said. You're not welcome, he said back. And I'm still not looking for any more eggs, May. I'm still quitting. May was not expecting that development. May, she started to sputter. But you have to look for more eggs, Sheldon. You have to. Just a couple more eggs and I can win this whole thing, she said. Plus, you still haven't found the golden egg for me yet. Just then the Nana walked by. May reached out and grabbed her arm. Tell him, Nana. Tell him he can't quit, she said. Sheldon is on my team. And when you're on a team, you can't quit. It's not fair. The Nana looked puzzled for a second, and then she did a little frown and shook her head. Oh, my, no, she said. I'm sorry, dear, but there are no teams on Egg Hunt. An egg hunt is an individual competition. May did not like that answer. She pulled on that Nana's arm some more. But Sheldon has to help me. He has to. The Nana interrupted her. If you don't let go of my arm, I'm going to give you a swat, dear, she said. May quick let go. The Nana smoothed herself and walked on. Sheldon laughed real loud. I like that Nana, he said. I smiled. I like that Nana, too, I said. I nudged him with my elbow. Maybe someday she will be your Nana-in-law. Sheldon did a loud hoot. After that, we did a high five and a low five and a medium five, and then I scooted over so he could share my tree stump. Lucille spotted us there. Her whole face lighted up when she saw Sheldon. Shelsey, I've been looking for you. Where's your basket, she asked. Did you find the golden egg yet, huh? Did you, Shelsey, did you? Sheldon's face went funny. Well, my magic egg shirt didn't work out that good, Lucille, he said. I kept finding the eggs, but May kept swooping them, and so now I'm just sort of, well, you know. May butted her head in. Quitting, she hollered. He's quitting, Lucille. Tell him he can't quit. Tell him right now. Lucille raised her eyebrows. You're quitting, Shelsey? Why are you quitting? You have to find the golden egg. Remember, she said, if you don't find the golden egg, I will have to swim in my pool with someone I don't actually care for. She started to get annoyed. Think of me, Sheldon. You have to think of me, she said. Don't you know anything about being a boyfriend? Boyfriends do not let their girlfriends swim with people they don't care for. Sheldon didn't answer. Lucille's face got madder. Sweat came on her head and lip. Well, for goodness sake, don't just sit there, Sheldon. Go find that egg, she snapped. Then she wiped her sweat on her expensive dress sleeve, and she stomped away. Sheldon watched her go. Finally, he turned and looked at me. "My little lamb did not actually handle that well," he said, kind of quiet. He paused a second. "Also, she turned into a sweaty drip ball," he added. Just then, May stuck her head in between us. "Come on, Sheldon, you heard what Lucille told you," she said. "You have to find the golden egg. Come on, find it right now." Then she grabbed his arm and tried to pull him up, but Sheldon did not budge himself. He shook her off like she was a bug. I admired that style. After that, both of us sat there until the hunt was almost over, and then we started walking back to the picnic tables. Only too bad for me, because I forgot to pick up my hugely big feet, and I fell down in the grass again. And that's when it happened. I saw something gleamy. It was gleaming right in my eyes, I blinked and looked again. Then I quick tried to cover my mouth with my palm mitt, but the words came rushing right out of my lips. "The golden egg, I see the golden egg." May and Sheldon looked down and saw it too. For a second, all of us stood there real frozen. And then oomph, foof, we all dived for it at once, and slap, 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 we piled our hands on top. "I've got it, I've got it, I've got it," we shouted. Then suddenly, all of us got very silent, and we stared and stared at our hand pile. My heart started to pound. I stared some more, then my mouth fell open, and I did a loud gasp, because the egg was under my giant palm mitt. That's why. "Oh my gosh, I really do got it," I hollered. Sheldon frowned. "Are you sure?" he asked. He wiggled his fingers to locate himself. "Shoot," he said. "I was hoping that big paw was mine." I looked odd at him. "That was a joke, I hope." "Well, at least you beat May," I said real happy. "Beating May is still good, Sheldon." Then kaboom! May exploded like a firecracker. She yanked her hand off the top of the pile and she slapped it on the ground. "He did not beat me, Junie Jones. Sheldon has 0 eggs and I have 6. How can you say he beat me, you big dumb bunny?" she yelled. That's when I exploded too. "I am not a dumb bunny, May," I shouted back. "I am the celebrity of this whole entire occasion." So here they all are piled together once they found the golden egg. Plus, you didn't even find one single egg on your own, and so I will show you how Sheldon can beat you. I will show you right exactly now, in fact. Then, without even thinking about it, I quick slid my paw mitt off of the golden egg, and I let Sheldon's hand drop on top. "There, ha, see, May, see? Now Sheldon has the golden egg, and you don't, and the golden egg is the winner of this whole event," I said. May's eyes got as big as bowls. Sheldon's eyes got big, too. He grabbed the egg in both his hands, and he jumped up like a rocket. May slumped her face in the grass. Then, tweet, 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 the Nana blew the whistle. And that was that. The egg hunt was over. So do you think that was really sweet of Junie Jones to give Sheldon the egg? Chapter 10, Decisions. Monday. Dear First Grade Journal, today at school, Sheldon keeps on hugging me. Lucille keeps hugging me, too. May keeps glaring at me. She needs anger management classes, I believe. I quit writing and thought about the party. May didn't win the most eggs, 'cause guess who did? My friend Jose, that's who. And guess who got to present the flowers to him? Me, the bunny. Jose was the happiest boy I ever saw. He jumped way high in the air. I giggled, very happy. Conchete means bunny in Spanish, I think. I smiled at that memory, and then I started to write in my journal some more. So here's him jumping up in there, Jose, when Junie B. Jones presented him with the flowers. Sometimes I'm not happy about giving the golden egg to Sheldon because I made that decision on the spurt of the moment, and I still want to swim in Lucille's hot water. Only here's the confusing thing. Sometimes I'm happy about what I did for Sheldon because seeing his face made me smile inside, and so that is something for me to think about, I guess. And guess what else? I am not calling May Dumb Bunny anymore, probably, because bunnies aren't that dumb, of course, and so now I'm going to call May a different name. Uh-oh, she just glared at me again. I think I will offer her a jelly bean, because that would be a nice gesture by me. Please stand by. I put down my pencil and reached into my pocket. Then I pulled out the candy bag I brought to school and I held it out to her. "Would you like a jelly bean, bird girl?" I said, real pleasant. May sputtered and stuttered, very shocked. Then she quick raised her hand to tattle. "Mr. Scary, Mr. Scary, Mr. Scary," she hollered. Mr. Scary looked back at us. His face did not look delightful. I ducked down my head, made it a gulp. Then she lowered her hand and started counting to 20. No action was taken. I smiled, very relieved. Then finally I picked up my pencil one more time and I finished my journal page. May does not like her new name, apparently. That is going to work out just fine, I think. Have a happy day. Your friend, Junie B. Smart Bunny. So that's the end of the book. I hope you liked it. I hope everyone is well. I really miss you. And I will come back next week and I'll be reading a different book next week. Thank you. Goodbye.